Hey guys, I'm Shauna.
And I'm Jordan.
Thanks so much for tuning in. We really have such a passion for loving and serving others, and today our video is actually going to be on something that's going to help our brides out.
The B-Rides.
The B-Rides.
The B-Rides.
Okay, like I said, this channel is raw and real, so we're gonna roll with
The
that.
groom's probably not going to tune in.
Okay.
I mean, they might. Hopefully they will now.
Anyways.
But if not, it's my connection with the brides. You're
You're
my
the B-Rides. Okay, are they your ride or dies?
No, you're my
Okay, oh, thanks. Babe. Okay, so anyways, today what we're actually talking about is a really, really important thing for people, especially when they're in the beginning stages of the wedding planning process, and that is choosing your vendors.
Probably, and one of the most overlooked things, I would think. I mean, like, it's on everybody's list, but I feel like people always overlook it. They just want to get somebody booked.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Sometimes people feel the pressure to just get things taken care of, especially when it comes down to some of the other, like sometimes people don't realize how personal a connection is
Oh, for
with
sure,
a vendor.
100%. Like I said, me, before this business, I was that person. I was just like, just book somebody, it doesn't matter. Like, that's how I felt on our wedding. And obviously, I was wrong, like most guys.
Like most guys. Sorry, grooms, you're important.
If you're watching.
But we really want to like harp in on this because it really is such an important decision that you're going to make for your wedding day, especially for a few key like vendors. So one of the ones that I want to, like, for us as photographers, something that we always tell all of our couples is like, make sure that you really love us before you go ahead and go with us, because you spend more time with us than you do with each other on your wedding day.
We tell you that in our consultation too, is like, hopefully you enjoy us personally, because if you don't enjoy us, then don't choose us, like, for real. Like,
yeah,
you want to have that connection with us, we want to have that connection with you.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if there's no connection, then like there's probably somebody out there that is.
Yeah, and it's your wedding day, so you should really enjoy every single step of the process. So from your wedding planner all the way down to florals, guys, because your florist, even though you might not work with them a lot directly on the day of your wedding, they have to understand your vision, and guys, they have to listen to you, and they have to, you know, be there to take care of you. All of your vendors should be loving and serving you on your wedding day.
Which is what we do.
So anyways, we actually have 4 little steps here that's going to help you guys, like, basically making those decisions and kind of filtering through when you're choosing your vendors.
4 is cuatro in Spanish, if you were wondering.
Oh, thanks so much, Jordon.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
I took Spanish in high school.
Yeah?
Yep, 2 years, and that's all I remember.
Oh, can you teach something maybe to our viewers here?
Oh, ¿Dónde está el baño?
And what does that mean, Jordan?
You know.
You don't even know what it means.
I do know.
Can you guys leave a comment below and just let everybody else know what it means, because Jordan obviously doesn't.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Okay, so anyways,
Levántense.
back to being on track. This is us, guys. So back to being on track. The first thing that we want you guys to consider when you are looking at potential vendors for your wedding day is one, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I gotta stop here. You would think that this would be common sense. This thing that I'm going to say. You would think it would be common sense, but it's not as common sense as one might think. And the first step is, do you like their work? And the reason why I say that's not as common sense as it should be,
because some people, I feel like, I'm gonna jump in here, I feel like some people just don't even do their homework first.
Well, no, it's not that. I think that sometimes people like the vendor. So we haven't really had this happen with us, I'll be honest, but we've seen a lot of people in the photography community who work with a client, and then the client comes back and they say, hey, I had such a great time with you, thank you so much for everything, but I was wondering, we really like our images a little bit brighter, or we like our images a little bit darker. Could you edit them to be that way? And I just want to let you guys know, it's not that that vendor doesn't want to do something that you want, it's that sometimes what we have going on in camera is really what makes the image. It's not all post-process editing. So as a photographer, the answer is I actually can't. That is not my expertise. Our expertise is creating bright, airy, joyful images for our couples. So even though someone might really, really love us, if they're not drawn to our work and our images, we're just not the right fit for them on their wedding day. And that's what I mean, that step 1 should be, do you love their work? Same thing, like, let's say it's a band and you love the people in the band, but they don't play any of the songs that you like. Probably not the best choice for you, right? So the very first thing that you should figure out is, do you actually like their work? That is number 1, because that's ultimately the result in the product that you're gonna get on your wedding day.
Like, I like the purpose of vegetables, but I don't like vegetables. That's
Okay.
the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what about this one? I had a teacher in high school who I really enjoyed, but I didn't learn squat from him.
That's okay.
We're kind of there.
Yeah,
right?
okay, that's closer.
Getting there, guys. Drink my
Okay,
coffee.
okay. So then step number 2, once you've determined that you love their work, your next step is to go to their website and determine their pricing. Most vendors out there will have some sort of pricing information on their website. And guys, I want to save you a lot of time.
Yeah.
Go to an investment page. Most photographers have a starting point or an average investment. Same thing. A lot of planners have that on there. Florals can't really do that because florists often have different, types of flowers and
depends on your
greenery.
taste and what you
Yeah,
want.
yeah. But a lot of your vendors might actually have that on their website. There are so many times, Jordon and I actually have our starting price on our website, on our investment page. And there's a lot of times that we have these brides. Okay, Dixie. Told you guys, real and raw here.
If you hear her, you hear tapping around. That's her claws on the ground too. So
They
don't need to be trimmed. It's just that loud.
She's just loud, yeah. So sometimes we'll get a bride who will inquire with us and they love our work and they've done step 1. They know they love our work and they love us because they follow us on Instagram.
Yep.
But the problem is on that investment page, we have that starting price and all that they were thinking is, are they available for our date? But the real problem is if we're out of your price range and you don't have wiggle room anywhere else, we've had some brides who do that. They'll adjust their budget so that way they can, get their dream photos. But make sure that you at least know an idea. Now, if some vendors out there don't have that on their page, that's okay. Just do what you can and you can always inquire and get those prices, but you might be able to actually save yourself some time, look at their website and see if that information is already there for you. If you're a great price point, then awesome. Inquire and make sure that date is available.
If it's not on there, reach out. If I said they should have an email on the website. If there's not an email, then I don't know if that's
a contact form.
trustworthy. Yeah.
Always look for a contact form. Okay, so then from there, this is kind of like a, I'll just move on to the next one because I'll come back to that later. So the next thing that you should do is check for credibility. And the way that you can check for credibility is to look at reviews or to look at, their portfolio. I'm gonna go one more and say look at blogs, especially if you're looking at someone like a photographer who's gonna create like a consistent product. We blog all of our sessions, all of our weddings, because we want our clients to see what an experience looks like with us. And so one of the things that I always recommend to brides is look for that consistency. Are they getting consistently good reviews? Are they providing the same quality of work? Not like, oh, that one wedding was really good and they had one good day. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, you could just put a couple of photos in a portfolio and make it look nice. But is there more that we can see that will help us to know that that photographer or videographer or whomever can actually create consistent work? Now, it gets a little bit more difficult when you go away from someone who's creating a product like us. Planners is gonna be a little bit more difficult to look at. Some of them have blogs, some of them don't, and that's a little bit harder because they're relying on photographers for photos.
That's what I was just gonna say too. Is like I feel like photographers and
That's enough.
photographers and videographers are like the easiest to find their work because it's obviously that's what they do. But other vendors, like if it's not on their website, where do you think they can find it?
You can look at their Instagram to see, are they, getting consistent work? But something to consider there too is, sometimes people just aren't active on social media. But I mean, it's just a good place to start for diligence. Now reviews, there's no reason that anybody doesn't have reviews. And there's a little caveat that I want to add in here when I say look at reviews.
Yeah.
We have seen it in our community as photographers or, any sort of vendor where, there's a bad apple out there who leaves a review and they didn't even work with that person. I've seen photographers go onto these forums or whatnot and they're just heartbroken. They're like, I had 5-star reviews. I had a 5.0 average. Yeah. This person just left this on my page and I don't even know who they are. And it breaks my heart for them. So always be if you're looking at reviews and there's one person on there who gave a 1-star review and brought that poor person down from a 5-star review to a 4.8 or whatever it is, a 4.5, whatever. Keep that in mind. Don't let that be something that hinders your reasoning to contact them.
It's like that, and think about both sides of the story too. Why would this person leave a bad review? Was it just a small mishap, miscommunication, something? Same thing on Amazon. I see a bad review. I look more into the bad review and why they would put that than I look into the good reviews. Because obviously you're gonna say something good about it, I believe it. But if you say something bad, like, I feel like I just go
You question it a little bit more.
Yeah, I question it more.
One way that I always look at it too is like when I go to a restaurant, I can get a great service all the time and I'm not gonna necessarily go and leave a review, but if I have a really bad service, I might be a little bit more inclined to go on there and complain. So that's just something to keep into consideration, but it is nice to look at reviews. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of our couples leave really, really raving reviews. We get a text message from every single one of our couples after their wedding day, after their engagement session, just loving what they've had, but not all of them take a time to actually write a review. True. So you can look at those and get an idea, but again, use your own judgment and, you know, so that's gonna go ahead and lead me to number 4, which is stock social media. Again, depending on the vendor, you can probably take a look at their social media and get an idea of if you like their work, are they getting consistent work? Now keep in mind, some vendors out there actually don't take on as many weddings as others, and that's an intentional decision. So we only take on a limited number of couples every year so we can best love and serve all of our couples. We do date nights with our couples. We really believe in investing in their relationship and marriage, and by keeping that number a little bit lower, that allows us to basically create that luxury experience that our couples get with us. But it's still the real reason that I love the stalking social media is because a lot of your vendors will actually show up like this in real person, real life, on stories, and you'll get to see their personality a little bit, because the real reason that you should kind of get an idea, like do a little stalking, it could be on their website, it could be on their Instagram, but you should figure out, do you like this vendor? Now I kind of talked about this in number 1 a little bit, that you should like their work, but you also should like them.
Yeah, you talked about it, but you didn't make an emphasis on it.
Well, that's because it was point number 4. Okay. So, because it's first important that you like their work. The other thing that is important, kind of on the last end, it's like the last checkbox to check is, do you like their work? Okay. Like, do you like them? Because that vendor is going to be there to love and serve you throughout your entire wedding planning process. And so you should make sure that you actually get along with them. Are they going to be there to take care of you? I'm going to be honest. We are not everybody's cup of tea or cup of coffee. You know, we're peppy and we take really joyful images, and we're going to like hug your mom on the day of, and you know, do all these things. And so not everybody wants that. Some people would prefer someone who's a little bit more calmer and someone who takes a really lax approach. And so it's just important that you make sure that you actually enjoy the vendors that you're working with. Some people want someone who's a little bit more raw and whatever fits what you're looking for. That is the most important thing, is to make sure that you're finding people who are going to be a part of your tribe for your wedding day.
Just don't put your eggs in your first basket that you see. Like, if you like somebody, great, but if you don't like somebody, don't feel like you have to go with them because somebody tells you to. Right? Everybody has their own opinions, and so do you.
Yes. Of course, though, if your friends have worked with someone, that's a great word of mouth referral, and it's a great place to start.
It is, and if you reach out and you don't have a good vibe, then
that's okay. It's your wedding day, and you should
give them a second chance, or move forward.
It's your wedding day, so you should have what you want. So then from there, that's pretty much, that's our little tidbit on picking your vendor. So just to kind of recap, you guys, the first thing, do you like their work? Second, determine their price and make sure that they're in your budget. The third one is to check reviews, and for consistency on like a blog or within their work, you want to make sure that they're credible and that they're providing the same experience over and over again. And then the fourth thing is to make sure that you like them. That could be by looking at their social media, or it could be from, you know, looking at their About Me page on their website, and if possible, sitting down and getting to know them a little bit more before you commit to having them as a part of your day is always helpful as well. Now, not all of the vendors you're going to need to make sure that you have such a connection with. Some you'll want to make sure more than others. That would be, I would say, photographers, videographers, planners, and then DJ I think is important too, because DJs really run that reception for you.
Absolutely.
So if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to pop them below in the comments. You can also, of course, send me an email or a DM on Instagram. We so appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and we hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any other topics that you would love for us to, you know, talk about or teach on, feel free to leave that in the comments below, or you can send me an email as well. We are so thankful for you guys, and we hope you have a fantastic day.
Indeed. And if you haven't noticed, today's episode is brought to you by Dunder Mifflin. Michael Scott, #1 fan.
Who got you that cup?
Right here. The world's greatest wife got this.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So, and it is coffee in here.
It is.
Today.
It is coffee. Anyways, have a great day, you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Indeed. Take care.
Bye.